What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000, back in the place to be, and welcome back to Everquest 2. In today's video, we will be exploring the Fallen Gate. Now, if you kind of look at the architecture, as soon as we walk in, if you're kind of an Everquest 2 veteran, you know that this is Dark Elf architecture here, so you pretty much know what we're in for. There's some quest NPCs that kind of hiding out here. So basically, this was a Dark Elf castle here that experienced a pretty massive cave-in, and as we kind of explore, we'll kind of see a lot of the remnants of that. So we kind of see that this guy's trying to mine. There probably shouldn't be skeletons. I guess they can be skeletons at this point, but trying to dig out some survivors here. He's not like mining for gold or anything like that. He's basically trying to dig this castle and any survivors or old equipment and things like that out of here. So you can see a lot of the things are pretty much destroyed, and you'll see rubble all. Why is this treasure chest here? Oh, someone's in here. A level 26 berserker by himself. Wait, there's level 26 berserker and someone else. So there's two people in here. Okay, all right. So first thing we'll do, we'll go the wrong way first, and then we'll go the right way. So this is kind of like a little side room. That, oh, look at these guys. Okay. But, so this is the wrong way to go. And this is kind of a room with like a little boss mob in here. And you can kind of see what I'm talking about. This whole castle has been caved in on. So you'll see a lot of stairwells that kind of lead to nowhere. And we'll kind of go back through this way. And we'll go towards the castle area. And just like I always say, Everquest 2, and I'm going to kind of repeat this quite a bit in a lot of these videos, but I just love it. This zone does have different biomes as well. So the deeper you go, the more it changes. And I love, love, love that about Everquest 2. So here at the top of the castle, I don't know what you guys are guarding, but you know, they're going to guard this broken down castle for whatever it's worth. And I just missed something over there. Another stairwell that doesn't kind of lead to anything at all. So let's jump back down here to the beginning. And we'll continue on our little journey. Okay, so we're kind of like in the cave part here, and then we can kind of go to the town. So part of this zone is the castle that we just passed by, and this is kind of the common area right here where all of the basic townspeople kind of live. What's up there, buddy? I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. And you can see all these houses. Like, that's pretty cool. This house is just pretty much destroyed. This one as well. This is like a mix between a tent and a tower. This is kind of the bar areas, I believe. We go up here. Yep, shopkeeper. Can't buy anything from him. But as you can see, this thing has been decimated. But a very narrow little area, to be honest with you. So even when it was fully functional, this is a really small, narrow area to, you know, invite over guests to your little shopkeep there. So that's basically that there. So we'll just keep on moving on here. There's Shadowfang right there. Little named snake if you want to kill him. Now this is where we start getting a little bit different with the biomes here. So right here, hey buddy, what you doing? Killing everything? You doing some power leveling with your friend? But you can kind of experience some of the different biomes here. So down here is kind of the undead area. Up here, I'm gonna have to go and remind myself what it is. But now we have this amazing little indoor water area as well. There goes his little friend. Yeah, they must be power leveling. But yeah, this indoor water area, which, like I said, I love things like that. If you have like a dungeon with an indoor water source, I'm like so sold on your dungeon at that point. So we can kind of sneak over in this side here. This is a easy zone to kind of get lost in, but everything is pretty straightforward, especially because you have that big indoor water area to kind of be your guiding light to where you need to go. This place is called Little Narak. And if you're familiar, that is the name of the main town for the Dark Elves here. Let's go in here. Tormented Battle Mage. So this looks like a Tormented Assassin. Tormented Battle Mage. Tormented Dragoon. Tormented War Witch Nobles Dragoons. So this place is still pretty well intact. And then there's another named mob around here somewhere. And this is a weird room that you actually can't get in unless you kind of go right here. And this is I think this is an heirloom quest that starts right here with this chest, but I could be wrong. It's been a while. It's definitely been a while. And you have these tents over here, and I definitely remember kind of just staying around this area right here and just pulling from the tents. Once again, if you're not familiar with Everquest 2, a lot of the early dungeons were basically sit and camp areas. So a lot of people would kind of sit like right around here where there were not any spawns, and then just kind of pull from here, pull from the tent area, and pull from right over here as well. So very, very different style of gameplay. And you know, I gotta readjust myself in my seat here, sorry. You know, it's good and bad, right? You miss things that you don't have and you forget all of the things that were bad about it. You know, like sit on your butt, like just sitting here waiting for mobs to spawn for hours at a time and never see anything besides this unless you were a puller. You know, probably wasn't very fun, but there is a cool aspect about actually being inside of a dungeon and not being able to just kind of just run through the whole thing and sharing the dungeon with other people. It's something that I really miss. I definitely miss sharing the dungeon with other groups and whatnot. And the effect on the economy when other groups can, you know, get the sword that you're looking for. You're not guaranteed a sword just because you kill a boss or just because you're in the right place. You're not guaranteed it, and that's a cool thing. So this is, like I said, this kind of gives you an idea of a landmarker here. So this water leads us back to the center. So we're not going to go this way just yet. There's a little area over here to the right, and then we'll go towards the undead side, which is the way that we kind of talked about everything here in EverQuest 2. Wait a minute, did I get switched around? Yeah, I did. And that's kind of the way we used to talk about everything here in EverQuest 2. It'd be like the undead side or the live side and things like that. All right, so this was man, these guys are running everywhere. It's not really super important to see the mobs, but there's a little boss mob right over here as well. And you can kind of see a little food. What is that? A spoon as big as the freaking bowl or cup there. A little chest. Guy has seen better days. So let's head on down to the undead side. And this is kind of where the biome of this dungeon shifts quite a bit. So we use this water to guide ourselves back down. And as you can see, we're back into this big area where we started. Here's some of the mobs that those guys killed. Very, very interesting little mob here, the Merkworms. There's also some gnomes that kind of hang out here as well. All right, so down to the undead side we go. We might see some gargoyles down here as well, unless they might already be killed, but no big deal. These guys are just leaving a sea of treasure chests behind them though. Okay. And when you start seeing things like this, you kind of know that you're in troll ogre-esque type areas. It's really easy to kind of tell the architecture for certain races in this game, which I really kind of appreciate. The way they kind of just paint like these crude paintings on these rocks just kind of scream ogres and trolls. And that's what a lot of the undead are down here. But they're all gone. They're all gone because someone killed them. But that's fine. That is fine. And there's a troll over here that cooks. So she's the person that cooks all of the food for everybody here. And as you can see, this guy, once again, has seen some better days. And he starts a quest or ends a quest down here as well. Very cool. So as we go deeper and deeper into this dungeon, what am I stuck on? The Hold of Malice. Now this is a little interesting area as well. So there's a boss mob that spawns right here. And he has some, I don't know what this is. This is kind of this weird like circle sacrifice looking area right here. That's probably what that is. Here's some of the ogres right here, or the constructs, kind of made out of old ogre parts, which is, you know, pretty disgusting, I must say. Down we go. And this dungeon keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and then you kind of have to imagine these mobs respawning at a faster rate. These guys are killing them really, really fast, so they would never be killed this fast in a regular instance. So going this deep is terrifying because everything is just spawning right behind you. So you have to be very, very clear, very, very certain where you're going. And now this is what I was talking to you about earlier. This is the ogre architecture right here. And you can kind of see very, very crude. They just took some stone slabs, threw them together, and made a dwelling. And they threw some paint on it and said, hey, this is my house. So this is very, very ogre-like. Used some skins, threw it on there, took a big pike and just slammed it into it. Very, very crude. But I love the ogres in Everquest 2. Yep. You know, Everquest 2 is one thing that has not been a big focal point for MMOs, is just having a wide variety of races. A lot of developers these days kind of see having races as just something that is just a lot of work with not a lot of return on investment. And I have to disagree. But, you know, they are the developers. They kind of say, you know, most people are going to play humans and elves. So let's just put 2 races in the game, make them humans and elves, and call it a day. And you see a lot of games that just kind of just make humans and elves. And that's really all they do. But I really think that having all these different races and having their own styles and worlds and architecture just adds so much to the game that, you know, like I said, when Everquest and Everquest 2 kind of came out, they were trying their best to make a believable world. Nowadays, it kind of just seems like MMO developers are just trying to, like, it's all financial. Like, how many dungeons can we make on this budget? How many races can we make on this budget? All right, 3 races, 1 dungeon. You know, it's all about a financial return on investment, not so much just making an amazing world. And this is the very, very bottom of the Fallen Gate. And this is where you can kind of start an event over here somewhere. And I think you hit this gong over here. Yeah, you hit this gong and it starts an event. Lots of event bosses in Everquest 2. We're not going to do any of that stuff there. They're all worshiping whoever they think they're worshiping. Lots of different things here. So like I said, this is a very early dungeon in Everquest 2. There's one more little area over here, kind of like a trapdoor area. I just don't remember where it is. There, here we go. So this is very cool once again. Like I said, if you just come in here and you don't really know what you're looking for, you can easily miss this. Like this isn't your daddy's dungeon, right? This is there's no map available. This isn't, you know, by mistake. There's no map available. Even on some of the newer dungeons, they don't really add maps a lot of the times. And that's totally on purpose. Usually only the overworld has dungeons in Everquest 2, or maps in Everquest 2. Because they want you to get lost. They want you to not know that there's a secret passageway over there. Because if you just came in here, you killed something, you'd be like, all right, okay guys, let's leave. And you would totally miss it. And that's totally by design. They don't want to just hand you your experience. Sometimes you need to go find your experience. So we're going to go over here into the vault of the... Oh, I need to finish the event. I don't know if I can do it. Let's see if I can do it. I don't think I can do the event. There's something I'm missing. Oh well, the only thing left in that little area right there is I think there's a female dark elf boss in there, I believe. But don't quote me on that. But anyway, guys, so that is going to do it for the Fallen Gate. From this point out, we're going to start doing some pretty high level dungeons. Now, if you want, or not high level, basically what I'm going to do from this point out is that there is, if you want to follow along, if you care enough to follow along, there is a EQ2 wiki that basically has a dungeon timeline. And basically what that dungeon timeline is, If you follow that timeline, it basically leads you through the levels all the way to max level and what time you should go to that specific dungeon. So level 10, go to the dungeon here. Level 20, go to this dungeon there, etc., etc., etc. So I'm gonna follow that timeline in regards to these videos. So the next video will be the very next dungeon in that timeline, and I'm just gonna look it up real quick. If you made it this far to the end of the video, you can wait one more second. You made it this far. If you made it this far, you care about what the next video is going to be anyway. So let's just take a look. So Everquest 2 dungeon timeline in Google, very first result. So all right. So we've done the Wailing Caves, we've done Blackburrow, we've done Stormhold, we just did Fallen Gate. So the very next video will be Crushbone Keep. So let's have some fun with some orcs. We'll be heading there next. And I'll see you guys next video. Later.